Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the Hindsight Podcast. Great to have you back here. And I tell you what, I was just going through the comments on YouTube and just realizing the anomaly in which we are as a podcast. Thanks for to everyone who continues to make that heavily trafficked page possible. It's all down to your work. So we appreciate that. We're continuing to count down to the World Cup. And I just remembered coming into the program today that we're a couple of days away from the World Cup. So that's amazing to know. IBK Sports for the second time in a week, in a row, rather.
It's noisy.
Good to have you here, right? You're a busy man these days, and spending the podcast money, right? So it's good to hear. But what is even better is when Rufai returns to the original, style, right? With the what they call this stuff, what they call the
Dashiki.
There's also dashiki. There's what Yoruba people call it.
That's dashiki.
No, it's not dashiki.
Are you talking about the shirt?
Yeah, the top.
Dashiki.
It's not dashiki. Now dashiki is more. Dashiki is more. It's more the Ghanaian thing. Yeah. No. No, not jalabia.
No.
There's a word. No.
It's dashiki you're looking for. Trust me.
No, it's not dashiki. It's not dashiki.
Half native.
What's that?
What's that? No, it's not. But I'll figure it out before I go. Wale is back on the pod as well. Good to have a reshuffle here. Ini is not here today. We actually let Ini have a break because Agbagas rest,
Senior man gas rest.
Blown his gasket over the last episode. So that's great. I like the shades, Rufai. Good to have everyone here.
Yep. I mean, the funniest was I had to change your hairstyle last weekend. These guys, you guys will see it on the
Mr. Look, that was horrendous.
No, it wasn't. It
was the stylist did you dirty.
You wore it
actually, it wasn't right. I had ideas. The reason I decided to even go because I was going to delay a bit before I come back to my usual,
good.
But I have an event this weekend. And
right.
These people, they knew me from having this. So they're like, no. That time when you come host that event, this way they're like, this one way you come. No, we prefer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because I mean the parents of the bride and all those, they sabi me because of I hosted their first daughter's wedding reception and all those things.
So it became a family.
So I'm like,
hopefully you call them money, Sha.
Are you kidding?
It's in our family now.
Are you kidding?
This is as I look at.
Are you kidding? By the way, Rufai hosts events, so if you have a premium event, I have to put the word premium on the event.
Collect money. They say,
No. You have to just your family have to pay you, right?
Your business.
Because it's important to appreciate the craft. I was just gonna ask. You're going to out of Lagos this weekend.
Yeah.
And I saw a tweet. Someone said they used 3 hours from Lagos to Onitsha Head Bridge. I was just going to ask if anyone has done
3 hours.
3 hours from Lagos to Onitsha Head Bridge.
Where
Lagos to
is there? You get one Lagos wait there for or
if the road is good, yes, it's very possible.
Bro, it is not possible.
If the road is good, it's very possible.
Let me tell you the chance that you have, to make it to Onitsha Head Bridge.
Yes.
In 3 hours.
Should be where the boundary are Saba now.
Bro.
No.
The bridge.
Bro. I schooled in Ondo. If you want to leave Lagos and go to Ondo, you are going to spend at the very no. At the very, if you are very fast,
4 hours.
You spend 2 hours.
But the road is better now, Sha.
Bro, no, the road was better then.
Wait, to Ondo. The road is very good now.
No, it's not though. I went to Ogun.
It's better, but not very
good.
Wait.
No.
Let me tell you how the road is now.
Lagos to is. I mean, it's supposed to be how many hours?
Wait, let me tell you how the road is.
Lagos to is.
Calm down.
It's supposed to be if you're moderate driving.
Yes.
You get there in 3 hours 30 minutes.
Let me tell you,
because of the too many checkpoints.
If you are fast,
like 5 hours.
if you are very fast,
yes.
If you are very fast, you get from Lagos to Ore, you spend an hour 45 minutes, and that's very fast.
Checkpoints now Ore to Onitsha.
That's not factoring the checkpoint.
Bridge is how many hours normally?
IBK, let me break it down. I don't tell you make you calm down.
Refine they go this in well, so Refine they do from Najio guy.
They drive, bro. They always drive.
You won't drag me, Abi. So it's like from Ore to the entrance of Delta State should take you, because I mean actually from Ore to the entrance of Delta State, you go jam Benin, and Edo is like the biggest. So you are going to be in,
Edo is very big.
So you are going to be in Benin, Edo State for a very long drive.
You're going to be in Edo for at least an hour.
More for like 2 hours plus. You are going to be in Edo. Do you understand? Then you now get to the entrance of Delta State. When you get to the entrance of Delta State, you have to keep going. You pass Agbo, you pass a lot of towns before you now get to Asaba. Then you now go to the head bridge.
Yes.
So 3 hours from Lagos, let's say no checkpoints. The road is smooth, nothing. For you to be able to make it in 3 hours, this is a straight, fine road. You are just going.
Maybe it's on 240.
For you to be able to make it in 3 hours, you have to be driving a Benz or a BM. Where be say when you dey go at 160, your balance, you dey 160, your balance dey.
You cannot get from here.
But even then,
to Onitsha
3
Bridge
hours
in 3 hours.
my
It is
brother.
not possible.
It's not
I don't
possible.
even know where Onitsha Bridge
It is
not
not
possible.
possible.
I know
It is
go-
not.
I schooled in Ondo,
You never
and
been
I used to go home
If you
by bus.
leave Lagos 6:30, and no pass Beggar, pass or Ekpe, you leave Lagos 6:30 in the morning. Before you get to Ore,
8
with all
o'clock
the
go down knack you.
checkpoints, bro, are you joking? Before you get to Ore, with all the checkpoints, 10 fit knack you.
And when I thought the checkpoints too many now.
10
but
fit knack you standard.
on the real, when I did school that year,
Then at midnight, the guy do am or when?
bro, it midnight is even harder to do it.
See this guy. You want drive 160.
You want that 160 for
that
midnight?
travel road.
You don't enter heaven straight.
Don't worry now.
You just fly into heaven. Straight.
Airports greet.
No. It's incredible.
Airports greet Tupac and Big.
No, so I thought it was a bit funny. But speaking of which, I thought today, of course, Champions League midweek is always great, and I think we can officially count down the amount of games to the World Cup, which is about give or take you play 5 games at the very least. I think some
No,
folks
it's up
play.
to 5.
November
It's up to
20th.
5.
World Cup starts.
Yeah,
I think there's two. They will have 2 weeks. 2 weeks break, like
No,
prior
it's
to the World
not-
Cup.
It's a week.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
week.
8 prior to the World Cup.
A
A
week.
week.
Yeah, 8
Okay.
days.
Okay,
it's just about that.
But
And
this thing is
and
unfair.
Premier
No,
League-
no,
Premier League resumes
I
6 days after the World Cup.
to be
bro,
fair,
this will be
hold on
the-
a sec. To be fair, I'm looking forward to it, but let's not do it again. Whoever came up with this idea that you could break the season into 2 because of World Cup, let's not do it again.
because
It's
of
great,
It was
because
the
of
pandemic,
Qatar.
but let's not do it again.
It was
No.
Qatar.
It was okay.
Won't
Yeah.
Qatar
Won't the
because
players
of
be
weather.
tired during the
Weather.
World Cup?
I don't. That conversation, I'm not ready to be in part of it. Right? You know that. I mean, if you,
It has never happened before, so let's just do it and get it behind
let's do it and
us
get it over
keep
with.
it
But
moving.
let's not do it again. It's not the best thing. I'm just thinking. The World Cup is coming around the corner, and if you're a football manager that manages his national team,
Now 3 matches.
how do you
3 matches.
how do
I know
you
that is not.
how do you juggle all of that? Having players coming just a week for the World Cup is
That's
quite
the problem.
it's quite unprecedented. No,
Jeez.
so I think that we'll start off with that conversation about the Champions League. Let's start there. I was on my show on radio, and I thought to myself, 2 weeks ago, Barca would not make the Champions League. The round 16.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how people don't make the analysis very simple, right? Because it was very easy and clear from day one
weren't
to
going to
see
make it, yeah.
they weren't going to make it. The moment you lose that game to Inter Milan, then
Yeah.
that you have to be realistic enough. And I find that this is why football is such an incredible sport, because when you're a supporter of a team, you are constantly believing something, in impossible. But if you take a step back from the action, the pump of it, it was clear. You had to do a job against Inter Milan. You don't do that job. Inter have 2 more games. They're going to play Victoria Pleasant, and they're going to play
Bayern.
Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Do you think Inter Milan would put their hopes in the last game? Inter needed
against
Inter
Bayern.
needed 3 points to qualify. They will kill the people in front of
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. So what even made it more clear to me is the moment I saw Lukaku training in the weekend. I said, no, it's not.
These people are ready.
Is it that they're going to beat this people silly? So that was clear. But if you're Barcelona and you go into that kind of game,
Of course, it's
knowing that
It's already done.
knowing that you're already out of the tournament, and you know that Bayern Munich are a team you're traditionally not good at playing.
Yeah.
What do? You play safe and make sure that at the very least you don't get a beating.
What's the point though?
So I see you go into a game and I see people flying in the first few minutes. People are flying forward. What's the
What's the
goal?
point? You can't
Is
qualify.
there?
What's the point of flying
Except
forward?
there is a change of rules where there's a third best loser. What's the point of flying forward? Mane's goal was too early. So let's even say that was the game they needed to win
To win to qualify.
to qualify. Is that how they play?
Well, it might be a different approach. It might be more conservative from Xavi. But like I said before we came here, I said, to be honest, I was someone who believed in Xavi. Last season, I was saying Xavi ball, the way he started with the team, the cohesiveness, the team chemistry and all. I think what went wrong with Xavi is the fact that there were too many options for him this season. Buying different players and not fitting them in as you should expect it. And I remember when Pep Guardiola was saying that having too many options, it's a problem on its own for managers. So people get to say, oh, you have these players at your disposal, you have these players to always come in when things are going bad. But
so
the fact is that obviously, I think Xavi cannot work with a large squad, and it is very obvious this season.
Don't let us be going tap dancing.
Yes.
So he's not a good coach.
You can't say he's not a good coach.
No, because if you say that,
there are managers that when you give them a team like Manchester City, that you have a very big squad, they would fail it because they don't know how to rotate.
So it's not good enough.
They will find it difficult to manage the squad.
So it's not good enough for a top team.
I think
that's
Saudi Arabia. Not go back to Saudi, but I think where he should have started from is maybe the likes of let's say Sevilla.
Deportivo.
No, not Deportivo. Let's say Sevilla, a team that does not, because he tried last season. He did well last season. So where we didn't have options.
There was no pressure at all.
No, it's not about pressure. I've told you, the options were too many. Look at
this mid-season.
Yes,
he had a lot of injuries. Now he had all his backline injured.
Exactly. Even now, there's a lot of injuries.
The squad is not even as big as it was.
Even now, there's a lot of injuries.
Yeah, the squad is not.
The backline that started yesterday was what?
Alonso,
the only injured,
Bellerin and Balde.
The only injured player that is very vital for Barca is Ronaldo.
No,
bro.
Yes.
Your centre-back pairing.
Jordi Alba has not been playing this season.
Christensen.
Who is Christensen? We got him this season.
IBK.
We got him this season.
Your first choice centre backs are Kunde and Christensen.
Bro, Kunde not available.
Kunde the last 4 games.
Listen to me. Is Kunde not available?
He's
available, but playing Marcos Alonso.
Your centre back pairing against Bayern Munich was Alonso and Jules Kunde.
Yes.
That should tell you. Alonso at centre back. That should tell you something. The first choice centre back pairing of Barcelona. Now who and who?
The first choice right back.
See, the point is that...
No, answer the question first. The first choice centre-back pairing of Barca now is who and who?
Garcia usually starts.
No, don't say that.
He starts.
It's Christensen and Kunde, bro.
Go and check. He starts.
What I know for a fact is Christensen
and Kunde.
Christensen, Kunde, Araujo. Those are the first three.
They are not getting the point.
But I'm asking you...
Rufai, my point is that Xavi Hernandez cannot work with a large squad, and it is obvious.
But that's you.
Look at the options up front. You have Fati fit enough. You have Ferran Torres fit. You have what's his name? Ronaldo. Lewandowski is fit. Rafinha is fit. Dembele is fit, and
you're playing Pedro.
Now you want to imagine, how do I fit in these guys to always play?
So that means he's not a good coach. He's not good enough for that level. Because the same thing that you're saying about having a big squad, it doesn't mean that if you go to Sevilla, you are not going to have, in terms of count, it doesn't mean you are not going to have the same number of players or a little less or a little more. The fact that they are Sevilla doesn't mean they won't have number.
I mean quality. I mean quality in depth. I mean quality in depth. You know, there are some players that you would not want to put them on the bench. And that was the same thing Pep Guardiola said, that you think it is easy to manage a team like Man City because you putting a De Bruyne on the bench, telling him that you are not playing the next game. Do you know how difficult that is?
So that's your job.
But the egos
hold on a sec.
The egos at Barca are not even too big.
Hold on a sec.
They are not big.
Hold on a sec. So let's get to the root cause of the problem. In your opinion, you think the problem is the squad?
Yeah, the large squad. I think the excess amount of players, qualities on the bench.
This is not a Xavi problem. This is a squad problem.
For Xavi, it's a squad problem.
I think you be no vex. There's a bit of hypocrisy. The reason that I'm saying there's a bit of hypocrisy, can you name one of those players that they signed that you didn't want Barca to sign? Be very honest, IBK. One. Not say I would have. You when we had the show, you preferred. You'd have preferred some players.
Yeah, Haaland and
you get those. That's a different conversation. Say I would have preferred this over this. I'm saying.
Okay, I didn't want Christensen.
Okay. Because I didn't want you needed someone to replace him, or because you didn't want them to sign him at all, that you didn't need a player in that position.
The point is that we could have signed just one of them. But what was the purpose of signing Christensen and Alonso?
You didn't need another.
These are guys that were not even
surplus requirement at Chelsea.
You get at Chelsea, and the fact is that signing them means that you have convinced them that they will be part of the team. That's the
not
truth.
necessarily
Of course, they
have
will be
to
part of
play
this.
No. You
first
can't.
team.
You can't. No, you think so? For a free transfer, you think so?
So what you're basically saying, IBK, is that
I just wanted to establish that
No,
Xavi is not the problem.
what-
Because
what-
for me, that's good news.
no,
You know, it is good news that Xavi is not the problem. Because
You
what it
remain-
means
you
is that,
remain.
you know,
he will remain there. They won't sack
you
him.
know, we are going to have another season of
No,
great content.
I
So-
want IBK wants to get off free. I don't want him to get off free because before now, I remember IBK clearly waxing lyrical. Oh, I would have wanted them to sign. I would have wanted them. All of those players, IBK could have said at the time that, oh, I don't think this is the player they should be signing. Maybe because it's not quality enough. This should have been the one. But IBK never said
Right.
that we don't need
A big squad.
we don't need reinforcement in this position, so don't buy this player. Never. So the point I'm trying to make is that if you didn't say that, now saying that the squad is the problem to Xavi, the actual issue is Xavi is not able to handle the squad that he has been given. Going by what you said, because what you're basically saying, if I'm going with you, is that Xavi signed players that he didn't need. That's what you're saying. Or are you saying they signed them? He wasn't the one that needed them.
I'm going to
No, I think the thing is that they were expecting some players to leave, and they
Okay.
did not.
Okay.
Like who and who?
Even
Like who and who?
Piqué and Alba.
allow him-
Piqué, Alba.
They didn't. Alba was not in discussion for come and take pay cut or leave. It was Piqué.
Piqué,
Jong,
Alba, De Jong,
Yes.
Depay, you know.
Yeah.
And if I can remember, there are some players as
Depay
well
doesn't
that
play.
Depay doesn't play.
Depay doesn't play.
No, he's injured.
Nobody
He's
don't
injured.
even.
He's injured.
Right.
He's supposed to leave during the transfer window, but he didn't agree with Juventus because of his wages or
course.
something like that.
The point I want to establish here is that all that drama in the summer, right, for nothing. The second thing was, you know, if he goes like this, Real Madrid win the league, right? I don't see
Yeah.
that Real Madrid and Barca are on the same level
At all.
Real Madrid are
Yeah, that's
4
the truth.
levels
Yeah,
higher than
above them.
Barcelona. But I tell you what, and I keep saying it, that, you know, the moments, you know, football fans realize if you support the team and the team sells you a narrative that this is how the team must play for 100 years, and this is how we played, Barcelona will continue to struggle.
Yeah.
You know, Liverpool did it for so many years. You know, this is what we're trying to do. This is how we are. This is how we're built and everything. The moment you stop that thing and you unplug from that
This
narrative,
nostalgia or
this
this-
nostalgia of how it is, you are never going to have Iniesta, Xavi,
You won't have those players.
Busquets,
Messi.
Messi again. You see, the problem with holding on to things like that is those players made what you assume is the most brilliant system in the world. Those players made that system
What-
10 times better than it was, right?
Fact.
Because before Messi, you know, burst onto the scenes, you know, like Big Mix would say, is before that time you had people playing tiki-taka, you know, Johan Cruyff had done all that stuff.
Yeah.
Johan Cruyff didn't win the Champions League with Barcelona.
Didn't win
He
anything.
didn't win Jack with Barcelona.
Yeah, nothing.
Right? Matter of fact, one of
Not-
Barcelona's-
Netherlands, I think he
one of
didn't win
Barcelona's-
anything there
one of
too.
Barcelona's most terrible managers in history, right? But you have to say that when you hold on to that nostalgia, it is constantly hampering the ability to hire the right people for the job. So you go ahead and chase, you know, Valverde, who I thought, you know, since Luis Enrique left, was Barcelona's best manager. You were here, you saw, you know, the stats he had. He had
Yeah.
almost an unbeaten season. I bet you now you take that guy in front of Xavi.
And we advanced
and just
better
to
in
add to what you
Champions
said,
League.
You get in the quarterfinals.
And just to add to that, Yubi.
Yeah.
So now you have this set of players: Pedri, Gavi, Busquets in his twilight, who
De
else? De Jong and all these people. But you want to play in a certain way. Now, Pedri, Gavi, and all these boys, are they talented? They are. But do they have limitations? Either by virtue of them being young, you know, still developing, still growing, or by actual, you know,
Talent.
this is where their talents can get them to. So, as a coach, we've talked about this a lot. I think, the first most important skill of a coach is to be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of each and every player he has at his disposal. Because that is when you are able to dispose them, to use them
Deploy
most
them, you know.
effectively, to deploy them most effectively. So you can't bring together a group of players and irrespective of, you know, the limitations or the weaknesses they have, you want them to play in a particular way. If that's what you want to do, it will take time. You keep building. You buy new players that can execute what you want to do. But this is what you get.
So why do you guys sign Frank Kessie?
Exactly.
In fact, that's the problem. I was saying that I was even thinking it was going to be Busquets on the bench, coming on when things are good enough for him to come on. And I started seeing Busquets start practically all the games. Then why did you sign Frankies? Why do you have Frankie de Jong? Put him on the bench. That's what I'm saying. That I feel that
Zavi's still not the problem.
Yes,
It's the squad.
Xavi cannot.
So the squad
That's
must-
what I'm saying.
the squad must pick itself.
If you're a manager, you should be able to make decisions.
So you're talking about Xavi. Exactly.
You should be able to
But
make
Xavi's not the
decisions.
problem.
I feel that Xavi's first decision should have been putting Busquets on the bench.
I tell you what. So if you don't make it tough for this, if you make it tough for, I think that's for sure. You do. But if you don't win the league this season,
No, he has to win. So I said on the show with you last week that the fact is that Barca have spent a lot. Like I was jokingly saying before we came on set, they practically sold a lot of their rights just to get some of these players. They have to even change the name of the stadium. So imagine now that we've spent this, and the truth is that most of these clubs, when they spend, there has to be something coming in.
So
you cannot go trophyless. Xavi does not have any excuse going trophyless with the number of quality players that were brought into the squad.
let's create a hypothesis.
Yeah.
He doesn't win the trophy, finishes second or finishes third, but basically he doesn't win the trophy. What happens?
He has to leave.
Right.
He has to leave.
Established. That's good. That's good. Right. It's funny we don't have Atletico Madrid fans because I was just going to ask at what point do you
Let's go, Simeone.
get to how many levels do you need
You
to
come
go
to realization.
reach, and you say, oh,
Thank
this
you.
is what needs to happen.
God bless you. Happy New
I
Year.
think-
If they are saying
You know-
that a manager is tactically exhausted, I think that's the word to use for Simeone.
Look,
to be honest,
I tell
he
you what.
needs a break.
I tell you
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
I like Simeone. One of the if you look at the most successful managers of the last 10 years, Simeone has to be there.
Definitely.
Because you have to look at success, in relation to the resources available.
Yes.
I think that the many managers in Spain cannot lace his boots. I think the only
Yeah,
manager
definitely.
in Spain better than him is Carlo Ancelotti. But it's something about being jaded, and you can look it up. It's when you're jaded, you're basically lacking a new routine. You're basically doing the same routine without even realizing that it has become stale. And I think that there needs to be a refreshing
Do you know?
at the football club.
Do you know the most pointer to the fact that it's not working. Let's just go our separate ways. After the final whistle yesterday, they got the penalty. Atletico Madrid got the penalty when the game was done. I don't know what happened because I've not even I didn't go back to see exactly what happened, but they got the penalty, and the report said it was after the final whistle. Right, Carrasco missed the penalty. The rebound that the Atletico Madrid guy he tried to score came off the crossbar. The ball no enter net. It's like Dato, you cannot go to the next round.
Well,
And now they need a result in the final game before they can be assured that they're going to
So
go.
I think they're stuck in this quagmire that they've seen other clubs in Europe break their stability and go from what is a bad situation to a worse situation.
Yeah.
So they're thinking, if we
all,
if we
at all.
let-
Maybe we just a coast for
let's
here.
let's coast
At all.
on until
Till it good again.
we catch a break.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen, in my opinion, as long as Real Madrid's transition is going on. Look, I think that when you have Cookie who has played 500 games, and in those moments, you have to admit that that generation has come and potentially gone.
Yeah.
Right? So what I say let's go do is recycle players in and around. And they spent a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
This is something a lot of people don't talk about. Yao Felix, how much? 100
yeah, I was
million
about to
pounds
say
thereabouts.
that was the beginning
think
of
about-
their.
Lodi.
I feel
Oh,
like
so-
the team, right? You can't keep losing your best players every season. The same thing that's happening also with Dortmund as well. When you lose your best player every season, you try to bring in a replacement. It's not good enough. Yao Felix was the first problem when they lost Griezmann. They brought in Yao Felix to try and replace him. They've lost Costa. They've lost. They tried when they lost Torres, lost Falcao, lost Aguero, right? But then the players that they brought in to replace those guys have not been good enough. They lost Rodri, they lost Partey. bro.
Is it that they've not been good enough, or
The replacements-
You feel the
You know
The
what?
players
Exactly.
they've lost. I don't agree. The players they've lost haven't necessarily been their best players.
No, but they
No,
lost.
no, even-
They lost.
they've
They lost
lost-
Rodri
they've
and
lost-
Partey in 2 years.
They've lost their
Hold
best
on,
players.
hold on.
Agreed.
Hold on. When they lost Rodri,
Yeah.
Rodri was not. Let's not
Was
act
not-
like Rodri
was not that-
was.
No. He
let's not act
wasn't
like Rodri
there.
was
He
there.
wasn't what
Was
he
Marcus
is
Cruz.
now,
So
but
he
he
was
was
a
their
key
best.
player
He was a key player.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
but
them.
he was
If
not.
Man City signed a player, he'd be a
Partey
key
was
player.
even more of a key player than Rodri.
You get Partey was an
Partey was-
important player.
Yeah, very important
Which,
player.
let's be clear, Atletico were happy to let go.
Go for that money, yeah. 50,
Yeah.
50
For the
million.
money, not because they wanted to let him go.
No,
Obviously for the money.
This is how transfers work. We're going to let you go because we're going to charge you something. We believe we're digging a hole in your pockets, and we think that what you're paying us is more than the value for this player.
player, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but,
they're glad.
but they didn't get a replacement now.
They don't need to.
No,
That's the point.
they
The
went-
point is that
at the end of the day, you
money
know what I was going to say,
At
I
the
disagree
moment-
with you, is that they've always brought in quality players. Why has it not really worked out? They brought in Rodrigo de Paul. Rodrigo de Paul is a solid
player
in midfield for any team.
He's actually one of the best now in the world.
Do you understand? That's a solid guy. Thomas Lemar still plays for Atletico Madrid.
Bad signing.
That's what I'm asking.
No, you can't say bad. He's been in and out.
You can't be going. You can't be going. Years of underperforming and only say that the players I have brought in, have not really done well. This player, when you look around and say, okay, we brought in Thomas Lemar, he was doing well when we bought him, but now he's not doing well. Maybe bad sign. He has not been able to listen. We have brought in Rodrigo de Paul. We are still not doing well. He's not, doing. We have brought in João Felix. Oh, he's not doing well. He's not really doing well. Oh, Morata. That one has always been, here. Angel Correa is still there. Okay, he too is not. So all of these players, they just happen to come to Atletico Madrid, and now they are not doing well.
If you look at the spine of the team, Godin, Partey,
But
Rodri-
those guys are always going to
wait.
leave.
I know. I'm saying that Godin.
Godin comes to the end of his time.
I know. I'm saying
Godin
that
was practically 36 or
replacements
35.
As
brought
a
in
matter of fact,
for these guys,
bro, as a matter of fact,
Costa,
one of
Griezmann.
the major reasons why Simeone has been in the job this long is because we got a new stadium. Some of our best players have left. Let's maintain
just
this
manage.
stability so we have a base to build on. That's one of the major reasons why he has remained in the job. So it was his job to handle those things because he knew all of these people, handle the transition.
How many years now since the new stadium? About 3 years since the new stadium.
Probably more.
just before
Yeah,
COVID. Yes.
and I just to cover, if anybody has that information, I heard he's the highest paid manager in the world as
Yes,
well.
yes,
Right.
yes,
But
yes,
let's wrap
yes.
up this
And he's the
Spanish.
longest serving currently.
This
Yes.
Spanish talk. I have some Spanish friends. Shout out to Stan as well. Let's start off with Fede Valverde. When I see a couple of comments, I think about it twice. I'm like, okay, is this how accurate is this? When Toni Kroos, for example, says this guy is top 3 in the world at the moment. So when we say a midfielder is the best in the world or he's in the top 3, top 5, what leads you to saying that a player is in that category? Is it the goals? Because I told you before at the season starting that I think that Fede Valverde is a very good tactical solution to the team.
Yeah.
Scored more goals now. I think he scored 6 goals, which is
Yeah, he scores
equivalent
better
of
now.
7.
equivalent of what he scored in the last 4 seasons for Real Madrid. So, is it the goals that make a player suddenly jump to that level of prominence? Because I watch him, I think it's a very good tactical option for a coach.
Yeah.
Do I think I want to have him in my? Do I think I want to have him in my final? As the first pick.
Yeah, why I would disagree and say he's top 3 in the world now, and it's no credit to him, but I still can't place and say this is what he does so well than all these other people, and I have to have him in my team. I think he plays for Real Madrid right now because of, like you said, good tactical solution. But I think in terms of the amount of hard work he brings into that midfield, it allows, it brings that balance.
So what does he
you can
do?
have Modric, you can have Toni Kroos, but this guy works a lot. So even when he's playing outside right, he works hard. So he brings a bit of balance into that old a little bit older midfield.
He's very athletic.
So if
Exactly.
you say for the goals, because I remember a couple of years ago when Dele Alli was scoring, every other weekend.
Yeah.
scoring similar kind of goals, which the type I think Fede Valverde has the rocket of a right foot.
Left
But
and right.
I think that when you say a player is the best in the moment, I don't see him playing at the levels that Kevin De Bruyne is playing in.
Exactly.
Right? I don't see him playing at the
So
levels.
he scores goals, and we see those moments. I was like, this guy is doing so. But as a midfielder, you look at Kevin De Bruyne. You enter into a game. Okay, Madrid. Let's stay with Madrid. Madrid are going into a game for how they want to play the game. Yeah, because Fede Valverde is in goal scoring form now. They can look, maybe he can get one today. But as regards how they want to play the game, you obviously know that will be hinged on Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, when they play. So that's exactly what I mean. Like, okay, if I'm going to pick this guy as the number one for my midfield, what exactly am I? Can I use him as a replacement for all these other guys? I can't find what exactly he does better than everyone.
No, the statement, just like his name now, Cruz, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think he's his teammate, so he wants to heap praises on him. He's not the top 3 in the world at the moment, but like he said, the tactical solution.
Yeah.
If you deploy him anywhere, he's going to do the
Yeah,
job for
I
you,
can
and
see
he's
clearly
any
why,
manager.
okay, I play him. Say, for example, Modric, Tchouameni, Toni Kroos in midfield, for example. I play Valverde on the right. I can see the reason why.
Yeah.
I can see the reason why. Look, maybe Vinicius is not even playing today. I'd rather play Fede Valverde on the left than play Hazard there. I can see that the reason why. Because obviously you want that balance. You already have a midfield where you have older guys. This guy walks out, brings it, and then he can score again. I can see that. But as a midfielder, I mean, when you look at midfield,
I think it's also important, just as wrap up on Spain, that before our own eyes, Vinicius Jr. is adding more goals to his game, and that is not because it's happening by chance. I see the places he's popping up in now, and it is a similar trajectory. It might be a bit too high, but it is a similar trajectory to what I saw Cristiano do at the time. Deliberately arriving at centre forward.
Yeah.
The goal he scored, I think the second goal he scored against Leipzig before
The
they
third,
couldn't.
is it
second.
It was a 4-3, no?
3-2.
Yeah, it was second goal. The one he scored, right?
Yeah, the second
That was a heading goal, right? And we see the goal. If you watch it back, that's a goal that is not fortuitous. It's something that he's thought about a couple of times. If I arrive here, this is how I need to attack a ball like this. And I've spent the last 4 seasons watching Vinicius, and I thought that this is one of those purely left winger players.
Yeah.
But you see the work he's putting in now to arrive more
in the box.
closer to centre forward. I think it's amazing what Real Madrid are doing.
Yeah, and I feel like Vinicius we're going to come to a point in his career, maybe later on in the future, where we'll be very shocked at how many assists he's been able to provide. In the course
was
of
he on
his
that thing we did last week?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
said
went-
it
he
was.
was the one that
I
he'd
said
be the
that
next,
seeing Vinicius, I tweeted it as well that I feel that he was going to get the Ballon d'Or before Kylian Mbappe.
So
because-
what happens in Brazil with Vinicius now?
He has to
And
No, this is what they do. Neymar is someone who could play from the left wing and also
The middle.
just behind the striker.
Yeah.
So even when you play him in this FIFA or in the game normally, you see Neymar, he has this natural position of playing as AMF and also playing on the
what they
left
do
wing.
is to play Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes behind.
Casemiro and Fred always play.
Or Fred plays now.
But Bruno has been playing ahead of Fred lately. Bruno Guimaraes has played
The
ahead
guy
of
is
Fred.
doing well for
To
Newcastle.
play
It's a very
ahead
big
of
chance he might
play behind him. I was going to say something about Vinicius, that playing alongside Benzema has also helped him.
Even the way it
Because
is now,
Benzema-
if
Benzema knows how to
Mbappe
move out of
if
out of
Mbappe
that middle
should
position
come to
for
Real
him.
Madrid, Mbappe cannot send him out of that wing.
Now, I'm not concerned. So I'm not concerned what happens in Brazil because look, World Cup
No, he's
is here.
going to play that. He's been playing. He's going to play that wing.
You play the left wing.
Neymar has been playing more.
even if you don't play left wing, they have to find a way to play Vinicius.
He will
Right, he
play.
plays on- he plays on
He will
the left.
play.
He must play.
Right.
And on the lighter note, you see how the Ballon d'Or came out, and I saw a couple of people took shots at the Premier League. They say look at everywhere is the Spanish league. Say, after they say it's the Farmers League, we have only one Spanish league in knockout round of the Champions League. Everywhere else
I think there's been a deliberate. There's been people. What I noticed is the way, depending on what tabloid you're used to reading, the last 3 seasons, English teams have done considerably better than the Spanish teams. So what glosses over the Spanish team's dominance is Real Madrid. Because Real Madrid go to the final
it
and
is
win.
Real Madrid. They would all,
They go to the final and win.
It is.
But aside take out Real Madrid, nobody else appears in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And this is not even trying to hold court for the Premier League or something like that. What I always ask that football fans do is realize that this thing is in cycles. And there'd be a time where Spanish teams would overwhelmingly dominate in the quarterfinals, and it has nothing to do with maybe it's just an influx of talents at some point in time, or a team is formed that if a team is good in this year, if a team as Real Madrid are good as Real Madrid, you don't expect that team goes away in 3 seasons.
Absolutely. And I also feel like, look, the Ballon d'Or is in a way now that it is almost impossible for you to look away. See, what I personally believe is, if you are an exceptional player playing
outside those big teams,
say for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, or playing for Real Madrid in the La Liga, or playing for Barcelona that we used to know, chances are you are going to get 40, 50 goals a season. If you do that, chances are you are going to be in the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or. It is incredibly difficult for anyone to score 40, 50 goals in the Premier League. It is Ronaldo did 42, right?
Yeah.
And he won the Ballon d'Or. That's the GOAT.
Ronaldo did 42 for all competitions.
All competitions.
Yeah, I think he did 32 in the Premier League.
And that's the GOAT. So it is incredibly difficult for Haaland is on his way. Let's see what he can do.
The problem with Haaland is this year for sure is going to be one. The Ballon d'Or is going to be decided by
the World Cup.
by what happens
Exactly.
largely at the World Cup.
Exactly.
So regardless of what he does,
It's going to there's a bit of a
yeah.
but would you say that Vinicius had a better season than Mane last season? Because Mane finished second.
Are we going forward, going backwards?
that one don't go.
That one
Ballon
don't
d'Or
go
don't go now.
Ballon d'Or don't go now.
Otilo.
You get
Just saying, like, which player in the top 8 would he have replaced actually?
Vinicius.
Because he was number 8 now. We had De Bruyne, we had Mane,
Who else?
Lewandowski,
Yeah. De Bruyne.
Mo Salah.
Anyway,
Moving on.
if I replace anybody, I replace Courtois. I put him in the top 3. And this is not. I don't even know how I'm going to do it, but I put him in the top 3 because it'll be.
I agree. What
I
Courtois did
put
last
Courtois in
season.
top 3.
Yeah, I think you
What Courtois did last season is exceptional.
What I always say is that, when you think about the season that Courtois had, it is equivalent to the season that Benzema had
As a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
as a goalkeeper.
Exactly.
You're not going to do better than that.
Exactly.
So if as a goal, and which is why I think that I hate to go back to the Ballon d'Or competition because it's like walking in reverse. If you cannot realize that it is a useless award, and this is not me trying to say that the award doesn't have significance. It is a useless award because you are giving an award, an individual award in a team sport. It is counterproductive. It is not possible for you to have the best overall player in football.
I think
It is not possible.
I actually think the only people who benefit from the award
I go scorer.
no be the players. I genuinely think no be the players.
It's not possible.
I think it is the organizer.
it is the only. I mean, it's,
You have your sponsors. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I think maybe you make some money. I don't know, but I genuinely think the only people who because
I mean, even the NBA.
Yeah.
Even the NBA have an MVP.
They have an MVP
for the regular season.
They,
and have an
for
NBA
the playoffs.
For the playoffs,
They have the All-Star game. They have all that.
You get-
because
it
if
is
I'm
clear.
Benzema, and I just had the season that I just had, because of the trajectory I've had in my career, I'll be proud that I just won the Ballon d'Or. But I also know that there is something in you as a player where you know that, look, the kind of season this guy named Courtois had, it is not fair. I
Bro.
would know as a player
What
that
else?
he should be winning something. What is the meaning of I am the best player in the whole of Europe? When we clearly know that if we didn't win that Champions League, my chances of winning this Ballon d'Or drops by maybe 40%.
And he was a key part of it.
And this guy won,
Yeah.
So
that's that. And let's move on to. Does anyone need to talk about Tottenham? I think everybody has pulled the big back from Tottenham. I just think that Conte,
Yeah, I think we're getting to that point where Conte
I'm
will
giving him 1 month.
His gasket.
I'm giving him
scatter
1 month
everything now.
timeline to
He'll start doing
everything
press
off.
conferences.
And that's
His
it.
last press, I said they need to
You
sign
know.
players in January.
So yeah, that's
It's not
it.
serious. After Like say bomb day here, Davi.
I said my bit about Conte when he left Chelsea.
But,
And
in the end, right? When you bring a manager like Conte, you have to
Give him
trust
what he
you have to trust the direction he's taking you. And I think that these things are clear.
Yeah, but they signed in players now.
You know, the same player. Should be not here to say it's the same
I
player.
just they throw back at you now.
Yeah,
They gave him a lot. They signed about 6 players now.
You see, when you sign players, right? Ten Hag, for example, Ten Hag signed 6 players. You know, Casemiro,
six?
Malacia,
Anthony.
Martinez,
Eriksen.
Ericsson,
Anthony.
5 players, right? So you sign 5 players. What you're basically doing is, and you have to ask yourself, how many of those players are starting in the team? That is how you know exactly where the team was.
Yeah.
So if you sign,
That's why you know how many are actually signed.
how many actually signed. Because
Don't be say-
so, for example, Ten Hag has signed 5 players, and the 5 players are in the team.
All starting.
They're all playing. So what it tells you is that the team was gone. So if you sign players at Real Madrid and you sign, which is why Real Madrid, perfect club for this analysis.
For those people,
They signed 1 player
they are transfer.
because they looked at the market and said, there is not a midfielder we bring in
Signed 2.
that comes in and displaces Luka Modric. What that tells the whole market is that they have the best midfielder in the market in their team. They let Casemiro go and he walks straight into United's team. So it is clear that for Conte, for example, he signed 7 players. Those 7 players.
only Kulusevski and who else? Only
Kulusevski walks into the team for sure.
Perisic.
Right?
that's what I'm saying. Like
Perisic,
And Perisic.
they didn't have a left back.
those are the only people that,
had a left
that
back.
he signed,
They didn't have
and
a
you
left
can
back.
tell they walk
Who
into
was
the
left
team.
back at this season?
They had Ryan Sessegnon.
That's not a left
No,
back.
And
but
Reguilon.
Ryan Sessegnon,
And Reguilon.
I can't even remember the last time Ryan Sessegnon played under the last manager.
Right. They had Reguilon.
They had
They are-
Reguilon.
those are not right. Those are not
And
players.
Ben
not
Davies.
sure
I don't know how Ben Davies
get-
has managed it. That he
No,
still
Ben
plays
Davies
for
is now
Tottenham.
a left centre back.
Ben
Oh
Davies
my
is
God.
one of those players that, you know, you meet him as a person, you like him. But you see, they make it hard for you. You have to tell them that, look, oh, this thing is not going to work. But football-wise,
Could it work, man?
You
To
won't walk.
be honest, it's not even as bad as Eric
What
Dyer.
are most-
He's
what
actually
are-
better than Eric Dyer.
So
He
what
has
are
that
most
bro, that
amazed
back.
about? What are most amazed about?
Fantastic.
No, Romero has been fantastic, not Dyer.
Bro, no.
My
No.
own is
Give it to
Sanchez
Dyer.
is still there.
For
He's
him
playing.
for you to change him, convert his position, and he still does
convert
well.
position
with
for
that.
him to where?
It was a DM now. It was
No,
a
no,
DM.
no. Eric Dyer was always centre back.
No. He started as a DM.
No, he was actually a centre back.
What club?
initially.
What club did they buy him from?
Eric Dyer.
It was Mourinho. It was Mourinho from. It was at Benfica. I be one of those Portuguese clubs. It
Portuguese.
was one of the Portuguese clubs.
Eric
Mourinho
Dyer.
bought him. Mourinho saw him as centre back.
Now Mourinho bring him.
No,
Now
be
Mourinho
Napoli-
bring Dyer. No be
Napoli-
Mourinho.
Napoli-
Mourinho
Napoli-
tried to sign him at the time, right? He knew him from. He wanted to try to sign him for the Portuguese club he was playing for. He knew him at the time, so he told him, "Look, now I'm back at Tottenham. I saw you play at centre back a couple of years ago. I think you're fantastic there.
I
So
don't think
we're gonna
the guy is
stop. We're gonna
fantastic.
stop this quagmire and take you back to your original.
I don't think
position.
the guy is fantastic anyway.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Maybe we go keep. Let me
anyway,
see.
that's that. This
players-
weekend we have a
Sorry.
couple. Yeah,
Sorry. Now I was going to say quickly. Talking about transfers. The
you don't open transfer market.
No. Because you mentioned Madrid and credit to the business that they've done. I think huge credit to Napoli as well, because some of these players that are wrecking, causing trouble everywhere.
Oh, no.
On loan, 2.5 million, 3 million. This Simeone that scored 2 goals
And they're paying for a
last
contract
night.
now.
They lost 4 key players. Koulibaly, Dries Mertens,
And they've done
Insigne and Federico
sweet
Ruiz.
business.
When you say you
Mertens and Insigne, I think they were done.
I don't agree.
I think
don't
they
agree
were
that
When
done.
you say you lost 4 key players.
But they lost
They
4
lost
key
4 key
players.
players.
now.
Hold
their
on
team.
now. Hold on. Listen now. What were the 4 key players doing there?
Nayoki.
No, wait,
They
wait,
lose.
relax.
Koulibaly, Fabian Ruiz,
Yes.
Dries Mertens and Lawrence Insigne.
Mertens and
what were the-
Insigne, they were done.
No,
No,
you
but
can't. No.
they were
Bro,
done.
they were
Were
done
they
now.
key players in the team? or not?
Insigne is about 36.
No,
IBK.
no. Insigne
They don't
was a-
hold. Were they key players in the team or not?
Yes, they were. But at some point,
They said
they
they
had-
lost keep up
Where
with
did Napoli
4
finish
key
last
players.
season?
Please, I don't know. Please, you check
Insigne
it.
is
You have my
31.
point.
Just a lie.
The point
Who
is
is
the
31?
point is the point
Insigne
is
Maybe I talk about last week. IBK
wait,
confirm
Mertens,
this
wait,
thing before you talk
Mertens.
out. You don't put your hands now.
Mertens. One of them at 30.
Yeah,
see.
Mertens 34.
IBK.
I know say one of them don't hold. I know say one of them don't hold.
35 Mertens.
Mertens, I know say one of them don't. You know say some of them resemble. They resemble. So
there's a difference between players
Then
losing
shot
players
together.
and moving players on. That need to be
But they
moved
were
on.
key players now.
Bro.
But
if
they
a
had to move
player
on. They had to move on.
is
from them.
clear that needs to move on, it's like saying United lost Matic last year. It was clear Matic had to move
Matic
on.
was not a key player.
Matic was not a key
Wasn't
player, bro. We're telling you. Do you know how Insigne left?
Okay, United lost Pogba.
Pogba was not a key
First
player.
of all, no. First of all, with this one a new coach wey una get. If to say na the same coach now, wey una come say
Rufai.
Pogba, where Pogba dey play. We're talking about these boys were playing regularly for Napoli.
No, they go play before.
But it's different from Matic now. They were regular members. They were in fact important.
Mertens was
and
done
Mertens.
3 years ago.
No.
Hey,
Insigne.
Napoli finished
Okay,
third, by the
okay.
way.
And already left to this
Okay,
thing.
let's even
So
forget.
don't tell me they lost
Let's
40
forget.
players.
Let's forget.
What they've
Fabian
done.
Ruiz. Fabian
I think it
Ruiz
was
and
Fabrizio
Koulibaly.
and Koulibaly. I think those two were the real.
Now you're making sense.
This argument wey una dey
Important
argue no dey.
You
But
know,
make we just
that
agree.
argument no day. So I mean, I'm like, if you look Koulibaly.
Where Mertens go? Where in there now? Where in go? Where Mertens go? Na Man U go or na Real Madrid didn't go?
Like, but what? That not reach to go. How they go?
You see a go MLS. You see a go MLS.
If the guy didn't want to go, if he wanted to stay, they would have retained him.
Who for?
Somebody-
Don't be say they tell am say come
And they
comot.
would have paused.
They would have retained him. Don't be say they tell am say come dey go.
I think they knew that
The guy-
they were done.
They know say.
See,
Baba,
man, some players go no say, my time don't reach. Make I
Mertens
dey go.
and Insigne.
Useless
Una dey
players.
joke. Insigne was captain before he left too.
Hamsik was captain too. Where is it?
No, but I know. Come on, it's like Hamsik.
Hey, Marek
The
Hamsik.
season, the transfer window
You see-
Hamsik
you see-
left.
you see-
Make una talk say
Hamsik
a guy
was
like-
done.
no, the important
Hamsik
player.
was done.
A guy like
too.
No,
Hamsik.
he don't own.
Hamsik
See,
was
where
done as well.
you know what? See, where they move to, do you know why it's not should not be a point for you, because those guys are looking for their last contract.
They just come out say make I go.
They won't go
But if
chill.
there's
Key
still
player don't look for last
key
contract.
player don't look for last
No,
contract.
why
Oscar.
would talk that kind of thing?
Oscar.
Where
Why
Messi
would
go?
talk
Where
that
Messi
kind of
go?
thing?
Where Messi go?
Oscar.
Where Messi go?
Oscar, what is that
What
guy's
did
name
Oscar?
that was a striker for
Messi
Atletico
go from-
Madrid?
Messi go from Barca to PSG.
Jare,
They tell you say this
we
thing.
talk players, we
Why
talk
go
Messi.
MLS? Why
Just
go
imagine
MLS?
this IBK.
Important player will
Keep
go
it
MLS.
very-
Important player will
Just look at this
go
IBK.
MLS.
There's Oscar.
Ibrahim Lukaku go.
Farabale.
Ibrahim Lukaku
I go count names for you.
Ibrahim Lukaku go MLS
I go
from
count
Chelsea.
names for you. There
From
was
Chelsea.
Oscar. That boy that was
Carrasco.
wait now. There was Carrasco. That boy that was striker for
Carrasco is an
wait,
important player.
that boy that was
Teixeira.
wait now. That boy that was striker for Atletico Madrid. That
Jackson
black boy,
Martinez.
Jackson Martinez.
Martinez is no good now.
No, why would you say that?
Graziano Pelle. You remember that Graziano Pelle
Cristiano Pell.
for Southampton?
There was another guy that went to China that time. I tried to remember.
Players who are the hype up.
A lot of important.
Teixeira.
That-
Teixeira.
But China don't sell-
Shakhtar
they
the
don't
next boy.
sell
Where
them
everybody say
come back.
Premier League one side.
They good,
I don't
eh?
hear. Good from.
Hey, this is the president of the WhatsApp group.
Carlos Tevez.
Let me tell you, president of the WhatsApp group.
Carlos
Yeah.
Tevez.
Hawk.
Hulk.
Hawk was never good, actually.
Ah,
No,
See,
you
see,
can't say you can't say it was never
I don't
good.
know. If
You
say
just say
if
he
they
did
call
not
it as
get-
Cherry.
Hawk.
Who I don't know who that is.
wait,
Right?
you say
But you say Hawk no good.
Wale, you say
Let's
Hawk was
cancel the
never good.
conversation.
No, you know if you say
Let's
Hawk
Let's
was
move
good,
on.
though.
Moving on.
Let's move on.
He didn't just.
I
meet
can't waste my
that-
energy on
Let's
that.
do-
hype.
Let's
Hawk
do,
was not good.
Prediction,
No,
Abi.
good, I beg.
let's do some predictions for this week.
And
And
prediction la another last week.
I think he was very accurate last week. So
you
you
said
win
last-
for
have to give him his. You have to
No,
give
you know
him
the
his
me I don't
flowers.
emphasize like
Oh,
that. You say
I don't go dey say
I don't
you
think
say-
this will be
The
a
team is
more
also
easier win
in it-
for
in
Liverpool.
the
They
play
chop
safe.
your eye.
In if you just predict say 8 corners.
You- Okay.
You say
play-
go.
You are not Sabiam now.
You play
You
safe this
play-
weekend.
No. You play dangerous.
If you play dangerous, you won't undermine Inni. Inni, please shout out to Inni
8 corners.
for having.
No shout out to
having
any
a
anything.
fantastic-
He just thought you say Pedri. The whole comment section. And then
Explode.
people they go.
Oh,
Chebi
we're
this-
at the midfield now.
No, Chebi this
I'm officially
Pedri.
holding court for Inni.
Yeah, you don't
And
concern
you will not happen.
I tell you,
Inni, you give me half and soup, but I don't give a damn. You cannot buy me.
I tell you, say if I post this video, the wahala wey this video go cost.
Baba,
video
this
that?
nonsense
The
Pedri.
Pedri video
Now
now.
somebody
know
say
the
somebody
video,
say you don't see somebody
The
on
one he
top
posted yesterday,
YouTube.
talent,
You don't see somebody on top YouTube. We
Talent.
say
I don't even know.
you don't-
talent.
you don't see somebody on top YouTube.
That last week, in they say Pedri are the most
Who's the
talented.
first to
Hey, she
win?
post it now. Why you don't post that?
You don't see.
That's what we're talking about now.
That's what I'm talking about.
60
You
comments.
don't see
Oh,
one
that's
guy
it.
for YouTube. We say Rufai loses all his objectivity
When
when
he
it comes to
Barcelona.
anything Barcelona. I say, where you can get this
Inside.
idea? This is the way you talk like this. There's one guy to come Instagram. He said, Rufai, this is the way. Now only you know as you take this analysis way they do. Now only you know him because this Pedri. Do you see the way he carries Spanish team? He played more than how many games? I'm like,
Should we walk on with start?
bro, Shebi this ball. I said, attacking midfielder. How many assists he get?
Should we walk on with start?
That's not his game now.
Yeah, football is based
Which
on
game is
start.
game?
Now. Nobody wants
Oh,
to
which game is game? That's the return.
His game now pre-assist like Iniesta.
Now, what I know like
You don't say pre-assist go soon day for
I
start.
don't like all this years.
Criminals
Now
everywhere.
now
Anyway,
pre-assist.
Arsenal sit top of the table, right?
I make a play 3 seasons. You get only 1 or 2 assists.
Let's just do the predictions, right? And let's get it over and done with before somebody will say pre-assist. Defender now go do count pre-assist. Anyway, let's start off
pre-defend.
Pre-defend.
You know
the name blogger boy before
If he jump.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk then be that
Pre-defending.
you get pre-defending.
Van Dijk. Do they shadow mark? The mark person don't pass out.
You know for FIFA if you use L1 box the mark. If you use box the mark. The players will not send players go. I think Van Dijk, you know all this here. You know everything don't catch now. That's how I said Saliba, don't fall into that thing like you are doing.
Don't try.
Which is why I love.
Make them know say you be dirty tackler now. If anybody dribble you, you don't go mind. You will continue to do your work.
That's it. Right. But speaking of which, right, I just remembered now that Rodri is one of the best midfielders in the world. You know, in terms the way Rodri plays. I watched the guy last week. I was like, I've been seeing it for a while, but this performance.
You just remember say that way you talk about that. Where would they talk? Say that important player. You just remember saying that cap.
It was important at Atletico Madrid.
That cap. No. That's a must see. No, Atletico Madrid. Not Atletico Madrid. It wasn't. It was.
Yeah, now Megadela don't go sign him now.
It wasn't. When I want to sign Fred, bro.
Let's
Fred?
relax.
Jorginho first, actually.
You kill him so.
Yeah, Jorginho first.
I even think this Jorginho thing wasn't after Rodri.
Let's rest.
Wasn't after Rodri. This Jorginho thing I'm talking about.
Rodri.
Relax. Guardiola signed. What's his name? That left. What's the guy's name? The center forward that left. What's his name?
Center forward.
Yeah, the guy that
Navas.
You can sign anybody.
No. I actually think he signed Rodri and then wanted to sign Jorginho too. I think.
That's not my business. Let's just do predictions and leave. Let's start on the up. I think that is. I'm going to start with IBK. IBK, you have a chance to redeem your predictions this week. So
I'll get it right this time.
Let's go right.
Foul.
Leicester, Man City. I think Man City have to win. Leicester's renaissance has come too early for this kind of game.
Let him talk now. Now you the two. I mean, now you the two.
Let me ask the questions now. Mike 1.
City to win, Leicester to score.
Okay.
City wins, Leicester scores.
They throw in the line. I play safe.
Right. What happens there?
That was exactly what I was. Both teams to score, City to win.
Is that not how I say both teams to score? But Dortmund and Man City play 0-0. You know.
I don't talk both teams to score for Dortmund and Man City.
No, I'm just saying like that's it. Immediately that game ends 0-0.
I swear to God, man. Dortmund Man City. Now proper go game.
I think
they don't score.
Those guys they work with bookmakers. They work with punters. Those guys.
Exclusive to Wale.
Man, no days.
Right.
Because some of them don't go.
Right. Man City, Leicester. Leicester, Man City rather.
Leicester to win.
Leicester to win.
Yes.
You are playing dangerously for real.
No wala.
I say you won't be lying. Okay.
Right. Bournemouth, Tottenham.
Bournemouth, Tottenham.
No, make him go. You want to go first?
Go now. Should we?
Bournemouth, Tottenham. Tottenham had a bit of this thing. It felt like they were going to.
They lost back to back.
Bournemouth going to beat Tottenham.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
No, Tottenham going to beat Bournemouth. Sorry.
Nah, I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think Tottenham will win. Tottenham to win.
I agree. Tottenham to win.
Easy win for Spurs.
Easy win for Spurs.
Yeah, easy one.
Win or draw.
Right.
For Bournemouth.
All right. Brentford.
It's your prediction. If you put 100 naira, now to chop 18 million. Because you know if he come. You know those tickets.
100 naira, win 40 million.
Once you see the final odd, you're going to say you don't waste your money.
40 million.
40 million. You can tell that you have wasted your money.
Even if the ticket come, they
will not give it to you.
This is going to say we so because this is 100. We'll give you 40 million. We'll punish you.
Once in every 6 months, that ticket they come outside.
Don't be waiting they talk for so. Don't worry. Leicester go beat Man City. All of us there now.
Man City doesn't look at it. It's time to overtake us now.
All of us there.
And that's it. Right. Brentford Wolves.
Brentford. I think from the last game they lost. They should
I was
be
surprised
back.
Brentford lost that game.
Yes, I was very surprised.
I
was very surprised.
Not only that they lost 4.
Four.
That damn guy with
they are playing at-
where the guy is he injured?
Is it Ericsson?
Is he injured?
That guy's
But the guy is a
He's
young guy now.
injured.
He's a small boy.
22.
So yeah,
Is
he's
he
a small boy.
injured?
I don't know.
But I think they are playing at home. They should win. They should win. A win or a
Brentford
draw.
Wolves.
A win or a draw. A win or a
Brentford
draw.
Wolves.
Yeah. Wolves are struggling badly.
Feels like a game that they just
Maybe
played.
maybe they have to just sack the new guy.
Person will just bring up. Person will just bring up. You want me to push around? I don't think they have a substantive yet.
Oh, I know if club now.
They don't have a
They
coach
don't,
yet.
they don't have a substantive
I know
yet.
if
Yeah,
club
they don't have a
now.
coach.
They don't give her a contract in next season.
You know, so,
The guy now.
they don't give her a contract in next
It is
season.
sacked now.
They should go and hire Aaron Danks at Aston Villa.
I think
Wolves,
Espirito will come back.
Brentford to win.
Espirito is coming back.
I think Brentford wins as well.
To be a draw.
It'd be hard to.
Draw.
Right. Brighton, Chelsea. I think Chelsea have to win here.
Brighton, Chelsea.
Brighton.
Brighton
I
don't
think
drop
Yeah,
since they
yeah,
had that.
with what I saw against Man
Chelsea
City.
fan, you won't make the game be as a game tough. So that next week you can see more.
With what I saw against Man City, what's going to happen is that they finally broke the drought, of not scoring in about 4 games. So I think they should get a goal and a win or draw for Brighton.
Win or draw for Brighton.
Yeah, and they should get a goal.
Your faith is very strong.
Yeah, I think Chelsea straight win.
Aubameyang to score.
Chelsea straight win though. Because that knows whether Aubameyang go do for against Salzburg.
I love Aubameyang go.
Bruh,
Chelsea to
see
win.
sweet goal. Wait for the team goal of the
Chelsea
season.
to
Right,
win, yeah.
Chelsea to win. That's what I think Chelsea win as well. Easy win actually for that matter. I think Chelsea win easily. Crystal Palace, Southampton. This unbeaten win that they do this thing. I always say it. Any record you have, end it early, so that pay you.
Because once
Once they break
The
out,
Potter is
as in-
unbeaten. People say they go beat. Go give
I
her like 4.
remember this
Draw-
guy
draw
who
is
now.
not
This
gonna
guy
be
who now
beaten
sack now. He said enjoy him that year. Tuku, everything be name.
took on the run.
He said enjoy him.
The best was Sarri, bro.
They say that time, they say
19
Ole.
games.
They say Ole won the whole season unbeaten away from home. I said, what kind of useless record is that?
Best he finished 7th.
Useless record. Somebody.
This start
That year,
don't
that year somebody,
spoil
that
football.
year somebody say Lukaku they score goals. We don't get me.
But that time, this thing they hot away from home. Bruno Fernandes.
My God. Bruno. I wish that kind of Bruno can just
My
come back.
God.
That Ole
Start
Bruno.
padding. Anyway, Palace, Southampton.
Palace on drop.
Palace, they'll win at home. I think they've been very inconsistent. That's just the definition, the explanation to use. They've been very inconsistent, and their last game, I think they lost.
They lost, yeah.
They lost their last game. So the fact that they've been capitalizing on their playing at home this season will help them again this time around. So I think they should get a win. Not even a win or a draw. They should get a win in that one.
Right.
Look, I think Crystal Palace have had this issue where you can see that they have quality, exciting team, but maybe the issue is they have a lot of young players. Sometimes they can't. There's an extra step either to get a goal to win, or just to kill off games, and it's not happening. They can play really well. You see, it happened also last season. I agree with IBK in the sense that because they are playing at home, the last time they lost, I think scandalously as well, 4 or 3 thereabout last time.
Yeah, against Everton 3.
3-0.
Yeah, against Everton.
Yeah, so I think they'll win.
Yeah, I think so too.
They are very good.
But I feel a draw is a better call there for me.
I feel Southampton, what they normally do.
Wait,
is
Crystal Palace, Southampton?
Yeah, 1 week they are good, the other week they are bad. They drew against Arsenal last
Crystal
week.
Palace,
They don't wanna lose this
Southampton.
match.
I think
They can easily lose to Crystal Palace.
Yes,
Trust me.
I think
Southampton,
If
they are
not a
not.
big team, they will draw.
Yes,
I think
they can
it's
easily lose to
a
Crystal
draw
Palace.
there. Anyway, Newcastle, Villa.
Come on, Newcastle.
Straight win for Newcastle. Easy
Newcastle
win.
they hot
Straight
now.
one.
Straight win for Newcastle.
Straight win.
They the hot now.
Because Almiron, they say since we
Grealish.
say I play like Almiron not the power.
I tell
But
you.
Grealish is
That wasn't a very. That
wasn't very smart.
yeah.
That wasn't
If
very smart. That wasn't very smart.
Jack Grealish.
Especially when you know you're being recorded. It's not very smart. I mean, people say things about people. We all, but I mean, when you know you're being recorded, you should be a bit more
Doesn't make
frugal
What
with
exactly?
your.
What exactly are you trying to say?
we
Also,
are
when you
this
made
thing.
$100 million dollar move, pounds move,
Yeah,
we
flop.
haven't really seen much.
Yeah,
Bogoko.
yeah.
An English player now, they no go do story.
Fulham, Everton.
Everton are beginning to look like the real deal.
Real deal from where to where.
Let me not say real deal. Everton are beginning to look good.
Yes.
I think now that they have Calvert-Lewin back, they can build towards something.
Say last week.
There's a bit more, because there's something that having a focal point, does to your team. And I dare say that they're going to become a lot better if Calvert-Lewin can rediscover that form he had before his injury. But I saw a goal they scored last week. It was a beauty, finished by Anthony Gordon.
Did you see the back heel that Iwobi gave for the second goal?
It was a thing of beauty, and for a team like that, a manager that we all thought was going to get fired early. Big shout out to him.
It's still on fraud watch. So
but never reached.
But Everton at home to Fulham, right?
It would be now.
Yeah.
Everton at home against Fulham.
Yeah.
yeah,
Everton
it's
to
Fulham. That's the thing.
It's Fulham.
Fulham.
I think goal honestly.
Beat that 3-1.
I think goal honestly.
For me, I think first thing first, we need to apologize to Geno Raw. I remember when this guy was using Iwobi as an attacking midfielder, and
But he's not playing attacking midfield at
now.
Everton.
So
If central midfield.
Baba an attacking
No, be attacking
not.
midfielder actually.
So what thing go call down? It's
Now
a box to box.
yes.
He's not.
Nah, go they say how many
Wait
positions
first.
dey on top field. Sure, you don't hear the right person. They say box to box. Now they put for you.
Now see him in the play.
We see him.
Na
No be
central
AM, no
midfield.
So who
be
they
AM.
play him?
Na central
Now
midfield.
three,
Bros.
now
Who they
Nah,
play him
bros.
for them now?
Na central
now
midfield. They play.
2 CM
Let-
they
And
get.
person, sometimes they attack like that.
Let's
IBK.
confirm.
If you did right, but we'll plenty pass you.
Exactly.
We'll plenty
Let's
pass you.
just-
You get.
But my own be say, I never see position where they right box to box. They put on top person side.
That
They say
was. I don't want cast Wale because make for plenty pass IBK, but that one we Wale talk to you get killed.
Right. Let's go. Liverpool leads.
I never talk. I don't talk.
You not talk when you dey use your chance. There,
But
box to
who
box.
Who the house? Na Everton.
Fulham.
Guy, go out.
Oh, now Fulham dey house.
Mitrovic don't come back.
Na draw.
Straight draw.
Now Fulham there house.
Straight draw. Straight
go,
draw.
man.
Na draw.
Straight draw.
I think Fulham win.
Straight draw.
I think Fulham win and win 3-1. Honestly, what's your draw? Go, right? Liverpool leads. That's our last prediction.
Liverpool leads.
Liverpool be leads.
Anfield.
That's what we're talking about. Nottingham Forest go win.
No, I don't think say Leeds get
Leeds are too
balls.
open for.
I don't say Leeds get balls to beat Liverpool for Anfield. And just like what they did in one of the games, I think they would come at Leeds at the very start of the game. So it's going to be a high-scoring game. I see Liverpool scoring 3 to 4 goals in that one. And I don't see Leeds getting a goal. So straight in for
It
Liverpool.
just has to be said also that Darwin Núñez is not doing as bad as people.
So I was
He's
about
not
to say
four goals in
that.
five or
No,
something.
I was about to say something that Núñez has more goals than Gabriel Jesus.
But
this
relax
season.
now. But you know
Six-
talk am now.
6-5.
You dey fear.
In all competitions.
So my
So I was
job,
waiting for this.
my job
actually.
is to speak,
In all
you speak for the
competitions.
fatherless
Yes,
and the
yes,
motherless.
yes, yes.
You know,
But
last week,
Gabriel Jesus has 5 goals in the Premier League.
Yes.
but they're not mates. Let's just
Darwin
let's
Núñez
put it
just
out
stays
there.
in the
They are not
box.
mates. as in-
They're not mates.
Jesus does more than
They're
that.
not mates.
Darwin
Jesus-
Núñez
Jesus-
works hard.
No,
Darwin
Jesus
Núñez works
Jesus
hard.
is his
His
daddy
mommy.
and his mommy.
daddy.
They're not even
Darwin
Yes.
Núñez works hard, bro.
They're not even
No.
mates.
If
If
you
you
don't
don't
work
work
hard,
hard, they
if you
collect
just
that kind
as
of
you
money.
just enter the
just enter,
field,
just
if
chill.
you just stand, just a sip on
Darwin
one
Núñez
drink.
works hard. He
Yo.
last day match, he track back.
No,
No,
if you
make
don't
you
track
no
back.
track back.
Make you no track back.
If you
you no
track
track
the
back.
grass, if you clear
Oh,
out,
no,
Ordinary
track back.
me we play foot click this thing for
see,
for,
I
for
mean,
campus. You know how many track back I track
center
back.
back
They pay
clearance.
me.
waiting now.
From
Wale,
18, he run.
Make you no track
Darwin
back.
Núñez is not even Mitrovic is not even Mitrovic's mate yet. He has to calm down.
He
He
needs
has
to
to be
calm down.
humble.
Yes, now.
Work his way back up,
He gets-
and
he
things
needs to
will
be
get
humble.
better. We'll bring
Go
him
and-
on.
go and
Liverpool.
visit the
Give him a
elders.
special feature.
Tuna work
Right?
way back. We're never up now.
Right. Anyway, Liverpool leads. I think Liverpool win. Leeds. I think this is this guy's final game. To be honest,
Liverpool leads.
I think this is March's final game.
Just a match. Don't try.
You know,
Liverpool leads.
May they
Liverpool
send them
win. Now.
come out.
Liverpool win. More so because Leeds are coming from from
Two
back-to-back
points
losses.
in 24.
Three back-to-back losses, and 18th position. This is the wrongest time to play Liverpool.
but-
Liverpool just lost to
20th
Nottingham
position.
Forest.
No. We lost 20th position.
I see one tweet say that when you use scores for against one. Somebody say now why people don't like help. All right, who started
But
that?
you know that said that
who started that
there
thing,
are
man?
stuff last week, Abi.
That what?
That Gerrard was going to go.
No,
No, it was Ini, it was
I
Ini.
don't. I
Was he
don't.
in that was
He
saying
was in,
that
yeah.
I tried to not make predictions like that.
was
you
in
know,
it, I
but
said.
they are making one this week. I think that Jesse Match's
Time is
this
up.
is I think his time is up. And I like the guy. You know,
That time when he comes, they want to play in a way because he beat Chelsea 3-0.
no, but the funny thing is that
Damn,
you can
bloody
see what he's trying to do,
Eh.
but the players they are too stuck in that Bielsa thing.
Bielsa.
Everybody
No, but-
all wrong, go front.
No, but I
Nobody
think that's
believe
what
back.
he's also trying
I
to
think
do.
they
now.
relegate
No,
him.
That's what
he's
he's also
a
trying to
bit
do.
more structured, and he's expecting players to use their senses in critical moments. But you see
They're not
that
leaving behind now.
those players played under that thing for 4 years thereabouts. Is sitting at Ole lack of discipline. You know, they were all wrong. Go forward.
And I think they are not good enough for the Premier League. That's just the truth. They are not good
They're
enough.
just an exciting
They
team.
don't.
that
Yeah, they don't
we
look like
love
a
around.
team that is solid.
We love them
that has
around. I
that-
beg, give them.
No, bro, they'll relegate this
Will they
season.
give you goal difference?
They relegate
Anyway.
this season.
That's that for that. Just one more big game. Barcelona Valencia. Who's at home? IBK.
I don't know. I've not even seen it.
Guy no care again.
IBK. Yeah, I never reached like that now. It's still.
You don't
it's-
vex.
That you know say our Twitter handle. He say we are for Barca every day and always. I think we don't tire for the past 4 seasons now.
I think you never start
that they
to-
always that they always
Just to
cheat.
let you know, I never start to.
So this one are waiting.
You have not started.
Back to back Europa League.
You will learn a lesson. Anyway.
They're gonna
Wait,
say
Anyway.
Shout out to Europa League. Don't they choke for that place
Anyway,
now?
those guys and you don't see their
You don't see-
followers.
you don't see
You don't see
that-
their followers on Twitter, bro.
You don't see that
They don't
video?
they get
Don't they choke?
plenty people to
You
come
don't see
in
that
now.
video? You don't see that video where they say that video of Hasbula where they say Barcelona they beg
This is
Victoria please where they help them beat Inter Milan. Somebody's kneel down beside Hasbula and tell us
I still think,
Hasbula say chop dog.
I still think that
Come on, Europa don't choke.
I still think that whoever wins the Europa League this season, you know, would have fought a very good fight because Sevilla have gone down.
Bro,
I don't check Sevilla don't go down. So we are here.
that
oh.
guy,
They won't do this thing.
that guy was
sure.
Yeah,
that guy was
Sevilla
smooth.
don't drop.
Now, I feel
Yeah.
say if they don't see they don't feel progress again. In as right from game week 3, they will not dey plan say we will finish third. That third.
Sevilla
That
have
guy-
dropped down.
that guy for
Mourinho say the failures of Champions League have come.
Yeah,
The
but
Sharks.
That guy for smooth, that Incaboli will be Arsenal fan. On Tuesday, I said, well, there's no Barcelona. They're going to the Europa League. There's no way they can make it through. The guy said, Rufai, I know saying that because of me, you repeat say Barcelona they come Europa League. Make it for pay me a bit. Because you know they shout say Arsenal go win Europa League. But I never know the people when they come there.
You don't feel, it's not possible. If Arsenal have know what's up, knock yourself out early and go and face. Because see that first draw. Arsenal fan go take and say,
No,
it's
but
just
this
a
current
blip.
Arsenal can beat Barcelona now.
Yes, they will.
No, the
No, they'll
problem
beat
is that they
Arsenal.
can't manage
They'll
that
beat
with
Barcelona.
their
They can.
Premier League run.
You'll be
Yeah, because it's a very
Barcelona.
close squad.
Their
But if the
squad,
team stay
yeah.
fit, sha,
It's
they've
January now.
been
It's January.
I mean, they've underperformed for a long time. It is actually possible this same team can stay together and play the Europa
squad-
and
that
Premier
squad
League.
is light,
I'm
bro.
not. I've never said they will win the Premier League, so they will make the top 4. They can get to the latter stages of Europa
See
League.
Man U and Chelsea, they feel surprised them.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, that's our show. We're done. Very quick one today. I think we've done at least a very nice 1 hour. So enjoy the podcast and leave a comment. Leave a like as well on the videos on YouTube. And hey, go follow us on TikTok as well. We have lots of Gen Z people there, so it'd be nice to have some of our Instagram followers on there as well. And it's been a real pleasure with all the guys here.
Yep.
We are back next week. Jide is your host, and it'll be a great time because we'll have moved closer to the World Cup and all that stuff. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching this episode of the Hindsight Podcast. Please follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Comments, please. We want to hear from you. Keep in touch with the best podcast. Thank you.